Financial Group has been dedicated to helping folks get out of a lifetime of debt by canceling their timeshares. So they created a timeshare exit information kit, which reveals how the timeshare industry works and what your options are for cancellation. Simply call Wesley right now, and they will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. See how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Again, 800-761-0000.
If you've ever seen the Tommy Lloyd Radio Show in person, 1290 is your radio station.
Because we love the Wildcats as much as you do.
This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Wildcats football is back.
Who's him? T-Mac is him.
Join us as the Cats aim to go 2-0 when they host Northern Arizona this Saturday.
Kickoff's at 7, but the action begins with pregame coverage at 2:30. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats.
About 30 seconds.
12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action. Filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats.
Intro in 10.
We Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip
With your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go!
And now,
A man who has not one, but 3 first names.
David Scott Kelly.
Coming to you live from Main Gate Square, Illegal Pete's. It is Bear Down Fridays. It is Friday. The Wildcats have a home game. There may not be a parade here today, but we are going to bear down no matter what, as we always do. Another beautiful afternoon down on the square. A lot of students are out and about getting ready for the weekend. They're probably happy because there were probably too many parents hanging around last weekend here for the first week of school. And so now the parents have left, and it's really about the college life happening here for these students at the University of Arizona. And they got a treat in the first game of the season, a 61-39 win over New Mexico, and now they will get the little brothers from the north. Northern Arizona comes to town for a game on Saturday night that will start at 7 o'clock. Of course, we'll have complete coverage beginning from the U of A Mall tomorrow at 2:30. My name is David Kelly. I'm out at Illegal Pete's. Stop on by. I've got tickets. If you do not have tickets to the game, I've got tickets here. But again, we don't just give away tickets to see the Wildcats. You have got to be able to answer a question or two to get those tickets to see the Wildcats. So make sure that you come correct with your Arizona Wildcats knowledge for sure. All right. That's what's happening here in terms of the tickets. And I actually got quite a few. So I may give away some on the phone as well. So if you can't be down here, stay tuned. We don't have a lot of open segments today. We're only going till 4:30. We've got NFL football coming up for you again tonight, the second game of the early part of the weekend, and that is going to entail none other than the Philadelphia Eagles against the Green Bay Packers. So you'll have that game coming up. Our coverage will start at 4:30 with that. So stay tuned. Hopefully we can get another fabulous game like we got last night between the Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. What a finish to that game last night. 25 years ago, we probably would have been playing overtime in that game between Baltimore and Kansas City last night. But we have technology now here in 2024. So good of technology that we can zoom in and see a guy's foot standing right on the chalk as he attempts to make a touchdown pass to send a game into overtime.
Not everybody trusts technology, though, right?
Yeah, I think the right way of wording this is that 25 years ago, we likely would have had overtime.
Right. What a game what a game though that game was, guys.
Oh no, it was a very, very good game. I mentioned it to you when talking about the game yesterday, DK, that the biggest thing I want to see out of these two clubs was where is the wide receiving core going to be? And guess what, guys? I'm very nervous to say I think the Chiefs may have another dynamic wide receiving core that they had that first couple of rounds at the Super Bowl, because Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, those guys look like they are ready for breakout seasons.
So we might want to take that bet then of Patrick Mahomes leading the league in touchdowns that we were talking about yesterday at plus 400. I wonder what it's down to right now.
I'm not sure what the number would be down by, but it definitely is a situation where you give an offensive coordinator a guy with speed, and you just look at how that opens things up. Rashee Rice, you saw him had a couple of struggles last season really trying to get open because there wasn't a lot of stuff on the outside the defenses had to watch out for. Suddenly you get Xavier Worthy in the offense. Rashee Rice is catching the ball over the middle a couple of different times for some key first downs there, which usually is Travis Kelce's job. So if you have Rashee Rice being a dynamic player, making guys miss over the middle, it opens things up. And again, if you forget where Xavier Worthy is on the football field, you're in for some big trouble there as well after that blown coverage in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Rashee Rice, 7 catches, 103 yards in the ball game. Xavier Worthy coming out of the backfield there had a couple of catches, 2 catches for 47 yards. Also ran the ball once in the game for 21 yards. So, again, some weapons there for Patrick Mahomes to delve the ball to. Travis Kelce, just 3 catches in the ball game for 34 yards. But the Chiefs get the win 27-20. Lamar Jackson ran for 122 yards in the game, but just 26 of 41, 273 yards passing. Didn't necessarily look all that comfortable back there in the pocket, and that's the one thing that worries me about Lamar Jackson. It's kind of always been that thing. Can he be the quarterback? Can he be the thrower that gets a team to the postseason? Can he be that guy? And I'm just not positive, not sure if he can be that guy. And he had some struggles in that opening game last night.
Well, he had struggles, but the only group that really had more struggles than Lamar for the Ravens yesterday was the interior of that offensive line. Chris Jones was going to have a big game because he was going against 2 backup guards on the interior part of that offensive line, and it looked like it. Chris Jones even had a couple of situations where he was completely unblocked going at Lamar Jackson. And any defensive coordinator, I'm sure Dwayne Aquina, if we asked him, he would attest to this. If you can get pressure on a quarterback, the best pressure to get is up the middle, right in the quarterback's face. It completely throws off the play, and it forces them to have to reset. And Lamar's got a lot of athleticism. He's able to get out of the pocket and reset better than most. But I can guarantee you, if Lamar had a choice, he'd rather not have to reset because a 285-pound defensive tackle that's 6'5" is coming breathing down his neck.
So we've got that game in the books now, and it was a great way to kick off NFL kickoff weekend for sure. We've got game number 2 coming up tonight down in Brazil between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. So 2 NFC teams will go at it tonight before we get into the bulk of the schedule coming up on Sunday. And, of course, there'll be another 12 games on that front coming up. 13 games. So 13 on Sunday, 2, and then 1. 16 games to start. I got to do my U-High math here to make sure I'm talking correctly. 13 games on Sunday to round out the opening weekend. And, of course, we will have Sunday night football here on Wildcats Radio 1290, back with the U of A alum, Ryan Ratke, calling the games here. You'll hear him every Sunday night. This week, it'll be the Los Angeles Rams and the Detroit Lions. Real quick, guys, the Lions, are they for real? Do they duplicate what they did last year, or was this maybe a flash-in-the-pan thing, and the Lions will go back to being the Lions?
I will always attest that I think the Lions are always kind of a one-shot wonder. They were the same way underneath Matthew Stafford. As much as I love Matthew Stafford and the career he's had, it was not a prolonged sense of stability with him even as a quarterback. I think, he had 1 game as a playoff quarterback for the Lions. And just as a franchise, I want them to have sustained success for their sake. I guess everybody's due, but I get the very bad feeling that the Packers are about to go ahead and just come back and take back what's theirs.
Well, we'll see. The Packers obviously opening up tonight, the Lions on Sunday. You got the Vikings in that division, too. They'll be playing the Giants, so lots of exciting stuff will be happening. And, again, you'll get a chance to see one of our hometown favorite sons, Bijan Robinson, will be on TV in Tucson this weekend. The game between the Steelers and the Falcons down at Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium will be televised here locally, so a chance to see Bijan in the second game of his the first game of his second season, and looking forward to see how he builds with a very veteran quarterback in Kirk Cousins there in Atlanta. If Kirk Cousins still has a lot in the tank, that could be a very exciting little team down there with the Atlanta Falcons to see if they can maybe make a dent on the NFC side of the coin. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. We are down at Illegal Pete's again, Bear Down Friday, short show today. We're going to be with you for only about an hour and a half till 4:30, right? We'll take you right up to NFL coverage here on Wildcats Radio 1290. We're going to talk to Mitch Stroman today. Mitch Stroman, the play-by-play man for Northern Arizona. We'll get his insight on the game coming up tomorrow night between the Wildcats and the Lumberjacks. And we're going to talk some Pima soccer. Brandon Sanchez, one of the outstanding sophomore players for Dave Cosgrove's crew, is going to join us as well on the program. We'll give you a preview for the Cardinals game. The Cardinals are in Buffalo. Better to be in Buffalo in September than to be in Buffalo in December. So the Cardinals will open up. We'll see what Kyler Murray has to say about this rebound season for him. He kind of got a taste coming back from the injury at the end of last season. Played in about, 7 to 8 games last season after coming back. But first season back, first season in Jonathan Gannon's offense, and looking to see what Kyler Murray can do. Can he be that quarterback that we all want him to be here in the desert and lead the Cardinals back to the playoffs, which he has done once, and then potentially to playoff victories, which has eluded him this part in the career. And I believe it was Dragon Ball. You had an interesting note. I believe it was either you or J-Dub. Interesting note that Kyler Murray has a chance to be the longest tenured starting quarterback in Cardinals history.
Yeah, he's going to be only the 3rd quarterback in Cardinals franchise history to play into a 6th season with the club. And
6 years already.
6 years for Kyler Murray. And to think that he's only the 3rd guy for the franchise to do that, and I think that goes all the way back to their days in Chicago, going back to the 40s. So, it's going to be interesting to see. Again, you want to see a franchise get stability at the quarterback position, and this could potentially be the most stable quarterback position that the franchise has ever had underneath Kyler Murray.
All right, should be interesting. That game will be at 10 o'clock on Sunday, 10 o'clock. You'll be able to see that game ahead. That'll be the only game on CBS here locally this weekend at 10 a.m. All right, we're joined by the fourth. I always say third. I'm still saying third because we got Dragon Ball back now. The fourth member of our team.
One second.
Cricket joins us. Cricket always has everything that you need to know that's happening here around Southern Arizona for the weekend as we reach a non-holiday weekend, but a short week as it feels like it's already we had a day off on Monday, and then we we had 2 days off. We had Monday off, and then we didn't do a show on Tuesday either, and then just one full show Wednesday and short shows on Thursday and Friday. So for us, it feels like it's been a really, really short week. But, of course, we've got football coming up for you tomorrow, so all that good stuff. But Cricket joins us, and she has got everything you need to know because what is it, Cricket?
It is
the weekend. Woo!
Yes.
What's happening here in Southern Arizona this weekend?
So I'm sorry I'm not very prepared. I'm sorry I'm running late.
Oh.
Laser light shows tomorrow night at the U of A Flandreau Science Center and Planetarium. Laser Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, Laser Bowie, and Laser U2.
Ooh.
Might be some limited parking.
Wait, Laser Bowie? Laser David Bowie?
David Bowie, yeah. That
wow.
was so cool. Yeah, so that's happening at the Flandreau Science Center, flandreau.org to grab your tickets before the event. And also something that's happening through the 15th that started today is Sonoran Restaurant Week.
Oh, yes.
Yes, right? There's almost 100 restaurants participating, and you get 25% off their regular menu prices.
Well,
through the 15th.
Oh, okay. Sonoran, I remember that from last year, Sonoran Restaurant Week. So David Bowie, of course, has been gone from us for seems like eight years. It just seems like it was yesterday. Do you have a favorite David Bowie song, Cricket?
I like Let's Dance.
Let's Dance. That is a classic.
I like Under Pressure too with Queen.
Ooh,
what about you guys?
Oh yes, Under Pressure.
When I think of David Bowie, I think of Major Tom. So that's got to be my favorite.
Major Tom.
Yeah, it's got to be. That's the song I think of when I think of David Bowie. So that has to be my answer.
Okay.
That's fair.
I think for me, it's probably going to be Starman. Starman is probably the most
Starman.
iconic one for me.
Wow.
That and anything from the movie Labyrinth.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, that's true. Yes.
You remind me of the Babe.
Yeah.
Wow. Good stuff there. Good stuff. You guys know a little bit about
Bowie,
music.
Though. He was Ziggy, or he was what was his
Ziggy
name?
Stardust.
Yeah,
Ziggy Stardust
So
as Starman,
yeah, that's the Ziggy era. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Good stuff there. Good stuff. David Bowie, one of the best that England ever produced.
Agreed.
On the music side, for sure. All right, Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Tucson Boulevard, south of Valencia, collision clearing near the airport. And also a wreck at Grant and I-10. Some slowdowns on Grant Road at I-10 and a little busy on Ajo Way at I-9 at Mission Road, that is. There is an excessive heat warning until 8 tonight. Highs near 100 this weekend and 102 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Remember, if you listen to the Jim Rome Show, you were listening to 1290.
It's on the up and up. It's all straight, and that's how that is.
Tucson's home of the Jim Rome Show. He's also your home of the NFL. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
What's with the earmuffs, Gary?
Holy cannoli. I just got back from a house with the loudest AC I've ever heard.
In other words, it wasn't installed right.
It must have been installed upside down for all that noise.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
If your air conditioner sounds like...
It could sound like...
We stop vibration so your AC runs smooth and cool.
People all over Arizona are singing about the Grizzly.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
Shh. Hear that?
I don't hear anything.
That means...
The Grizzly is doing its job, keeping you cool
with barely a purr.
We believe ACs should sound like this.
Because we do things the Alaskan way, not the cheap way.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-970-8855. That's 800-970-8855. 800-970-8855.
As coach of the Wildcats, I know the importance of teamwork. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Is your AC system more than 10 years old and costing you too much in repairs? Beat the heat, call Right Way. Get a new system with 10-year parts warranty, 10-year labor warranty, and 60 months no-interest financing. Make replacing easier on your wallet. Call today.
Don't delay. Call or text 520-657-0699. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
Not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is everywhere.
You can now hear us on our free app from the app and Google Play Store.
Streaming on WildcatsRadio1290.com, iHeartRadio and Odyssey app, and even on 1290 AM. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. It's a very good reason why we call the NFL the best thing ever. And it only took one game to remind the entire world that it is the best thing ever. One game that came down to one toe. And despite what Lamar Jackson thinks, that big toe obviously did touch that white line. Everybody knows it. Everybody except the guy who threw the rock. Somebody might want to tell that to Lamar because somehow this dude is still confused. Lamar, you cannot speak that into a touchdown. You cannot keep repeating, I still think that was a tutty, when the whole world knows it wasn't, except for you. Just as the whole world knows that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs still own you and the Ravens. In other words, the more things change, the more they stay exactly the same, no matter what you believe.
Hey, DK, there?
Yep.
This self-contained added with the break next. We'll be back live at 42.
All right, let's talk some Northern Arizona Lumberjacks, the opponent in here for game number 2 on Saturday night. Pleased to be joined by the longtime voice of the Jacks, Mitch Stroman. We chatted with him last year as the Wildcats and the Lumberjacks playing back-to-back years for the first time since the early part of this century. I believe 04-05 was the last time these two teams did it in back-to-back seasons, and the third time in 4 years. Mitch, you guys are getting used to coming down here to Tucson.
Nothing wrong with that, DK. Great to be with you. And, it's always fun for NAU football fans, alumni around the state of Arizona to head down to the Old Pueblo and play some football at Arizona Stadium against the Wildcats. And you're right, it is a little weird. 3 out of the last 4 years, the Cats and the Jacks go head to head in Tucson, and but it's also really kind of cool, especially this year, because this is obviously the inaugural year of Arizona Wildcat football in the Big 12 Conference.
Absolutely. Now, you guys got off to a great start last week, beating Lincoln out of California, 66-6. I've said all week, I've never heard of Lincoln. I don't know where that. I think it's up by Oakland or somewhere in that area. But how does that work for you guys in terms of your non-conference scheduling? Obviously, you all will play some teams. Generally, you'll play a Power 5 in your non-conference, but also, as the Power 5s play lower divisions and FCSs and that type of thing. I would imagine you guys play lower divisions as well. How does that work in terms of the scheduling and how the NAU staff looks to get opponents?
Yeah, that's a good question, DK. And the game against Lincoln, don't feel too badly that you had not heard of them. Heck, I hadn't heard of them until they dropped in on the schedule. I think as you know, and as a lot of the people that are listening right now know, this is one of those years that comes up every once in a while where you can have a 12-game regular season schedule. We actually had a Division II football team on our schedule for our opener last Saturday, but they pulled out at the last minute. So obviously they wanted to get somebody on the schedule, and they were able to find Lincoln. And yes, you are right. They are from Oakland, California, an independent football team. They're not NAIA or NCAA affiliated. And we did win by 60, which in many respects was expected, given the fact that Lincoln University is an independent football team, and quite frankly, this is only their 4th year of existence. But it was I think, an important game for NAU, because even though it was a team that doesn't offer much in the way of meaningful opposition, it was a good example for the Lumberjacks to be able to get a lot of players on the depth chart, meaningful snaps in this game. We played 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs. We went all the way down to the 3rd and 4th spots on the depth chart. And the biggest takeaway, I think, DK, that we take from that was not the score, not the yardage, not the touchdowns, but the fact that all phases of NAU's game scored. Special teams scored, block punt, pick 2 on a 2-point extra point attempt for Lincoln. There was a defensive touchdown, offensive touchdown, and the fact that NAU in a game like that, anybody in a game like that, when it gets out of hand in the 4th quarter, you can lose some focus, right? You can allow a team like a Lincoln to get some garbage points at the end of the game because you're just not focused anymore. That was not the case last Saturday for the Lumberjacks. They played with intensity, with precision and focus deep into the depth chart and all the way to the very last play of the game. So that's a big positive to take from that going into the game tomorrow in Tucson against the 20th ranked Cats.
Mitch Stroman is our guest. He is the voice of the NAU Lumberjacks. It's the Lumberjacks and the Wildcats Saturday night at the stadium with kickoff coming up at 7 o'clock. Brand new coaching staff this year. Brian Wright comes over, had a lot of success in 4 seasons at Pittsburgh State, plus 30
on the win side. Brought his a brand new coaching staff in with him. You guys got we thought we have a lot of changes to our roster. You guys have a ton on yours. 65 new players on the roster. So what is the mantra for this new staff and what they're hoping to do up in Flagstaff?
Dude, I'll tell you what. I've been doing this now for close to 30 years as the voice of the Lumberjacks, and this is, without question, and nothing comes close, the most year-to-year program turnover I have ever seen with NAU football. I've never seen anything quite like that. And again, I've been around doing this for about 30 years. So that, you raise a great point. This isn't just a new coaching staff, and it is a new coaching staff top to bottom. No holdovers from last year's coaching staff. But you mentioned the number, 65. 65 new players on the roster out of just short of 120 total on the roster. That's more than 50% of the roster. And even in this Wild West day and age of the transfer portal, that's an awful lot of turnover year to year for a Division I football team. And they come in all positions. Every single player room, position room has significantly new bodies, faces, players in it. And so there's a lot of excitement about that. I think, for fans up in northern Arizona and for folks that are NAU football fans, there's a lot of curiosity. How will this team respond to that much changeover from year to year? And you talked about Brian Wright, the new head coach. Yeah, his record as a head coach coming into the game tomorrow against the Wildcats is 38 wins and 8 losses. That's it. Very impressive. 4 of those years at Division II powerhouse Pittsburgh State in Kansas, in the best Division II conference in the country. He actually had a cup of coffee as an FBS head coach in 2014 at Florida Atlantic University. He was interim head coach for the final 4 games of the season, went a perfect 4-0, and actually went to a bowl game. Was considered for the full-time head coaching job, didn't get it, ended up going to Pittsburgh State and had just an incredible record there at the Division II level. So, yeah, he comes in, DK, and the other thing that I think is interesting, you will find fascinating, and so will your listeners here, is that this is the first time in about 27 years that NAU has had a head coach who comes with what I would call an offensive mindset, right? And he's the offensive coordinator for this Lumberjack football team, along with being the head coach. He's also the quarterback's coach, and he's all about the offense. That was why he was one of the reasons why he was brought to Flagstaff and hired as the head coach of NAU football, is because I think the school and the administration and the fans and the alumni, they wanted to see an NAU football team get after it on the offensive side of the football. And like I said, it's been 27 years since we've had a head coach with that offensive mindset.
We're pleased to be joined by Mitch Stroman, the voice of the NAU Lumberjacks. As he mentioned, 30 years in that role. We have some long-standing play-by-play men here in the state of Arizona between Mitch Stroman, Brian Jeffries, and Tim Healy down at Arizona State at the state schools. And I want to ask you, Mitch, about some of the locals, at least the Southern Arizona kids on this roster. We'll start with the quarterback, Angel Flores out of Casa Grande. We talked a little bit about him last year. You mentioned that there's they played 4 quarterbacks last weekend. Where is he kind of in that mix right now?
He is the number 2 man on the depth chart. He's QB2. He started the final 3 games of the 2023 season last year, DK, performed very, very well. It was a real head-to-head battle between him and transfer quarterback Ty Pennington, who came in with Coach Wright from Pittsburgh State all the way through camp. It was close, and you could have flipped a coin, I think, going into last Saturday, who was going to be the starting quarterback just based upon their performance in camp. Coach Wright went with Ty Pennington, and he is QB1. But Angel Flores out of Casa Grande, a prolific high school quarterback at Casa Grande, has, I think, really elevated his physical and technical development as a quarterback in Flagstaff, going from last year where he was viewed more as a running type quarterback, a guy that you bring in with special run packages for him. He wasn't, I don't think, given the opportunity to showcase his arm strength and accuracy last season. He's been given that opportunity this year, and he has absolutely dropped some jaws with his ability to, hit the long ball very, very accurately. He's still a great runner, can extend plays with his legs, and he saw a lot of snaps last Saturday against Lincoln in Flagstaff, and he will see the field, I guarantee it, at times in the game tomorrow in Tucson.
Mitch, give me some quick hits on a couple of other of our Southern Arizona kids. Daniel Robledo is a captain this year for NAU. Great to see Ralph Frias is at the top of the depth chart now. I remember the first time I saw that kid at a playoff game when Safford came down to play Sabino, and I'm standing next to him on the sideline. I'm thinking, man, I hope somebody's on this kid because he's got the size to play at the next level. Spent some time, obviously, at ASU early in his career. And then Ryan Fontaine out of Push Ridge Christian Academy, if he has a chance to maybe get in the mix at all.
He might. He's the fifth running back in the running back room as Fontaine, but he had a great camp, DK, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's not given an opportunity to carry the football in Tucson, obviously coming back home to Southern Arizona. You mentioned Daniel Robledo, and he is a co-captain and one of the leaders, I think, emotionally of this football team, but in a heartbreaking development for him. He suffered a lower body injury right at the end of preseason camp. He is out for the game in Tucson. He'll be there on the sidelines wishing as much as he could possibly wish to get into the game, but he's not going to be able to play. So that's rather unfortunate as well. And you're right. I mean, there are several players, including Ammon Allen, who played for the Wildcats last year and is now a big part of the defensive backfield for NAU defense. There's a lot of connections like that to Tucson and Southern Arizona. And that's one of the things, DK, that makes this game so interesting and fun is that you have guys on the roster here in Flagstaff that are coming home and are going to go head-to-head against, a lot of players with the Wildcats that they may have played against or did play against in high school. So it's part of the texture and part of the coolness of this football game between Arizona and Northern Arizona.
Outstanding. Looking forward to it as we always do. Mitch, appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. Have a great call Saturday night.
DK, thank you. Always a pleasure to talk with you, and looking forward to the game on Saturday night. And let's see if we can have at least at a minimum a game that will give the fans their money's worth.
There you go. Mitch Stroman, longtime play-by-play man for the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions that are reported Grant Road and I-10. Some slowing Grant Road at I-10. Collision near the airport, Tucson Boulevard near Valencia. On Tucson Boulevard to the south of Valencia. Also some busy travel on Ajo Way at I-19. And I'm Cricket. And your weather-wise, that is excessive heat warning until 8 tonight. Highs near 100 this weekend, 102 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Escape the ordinary and indulge in a world of excitement at Park Place Mall. Discover endless possibilities with over 100 stores, restaurants, and entertainment options. Join them for the monthly Kids Club, Yappy Hour, and seasonal events. From fashion to food, it's all at Park Place Mall, where you belong.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Whether you're new to Arizona or you've been driving here for decades, we all share the same roads and the same extreme driving conditions like extreme Arizona heat, extremely large potholes, some extremely flooded roads, and there's always extremely distracted drivers, pedestrians, and that guy who drives his scooter backwards into oncoming traffic. You're driving in the world's largest video game, stopping, starting, turning, heating up, and cooling down. And that's just your afternoon commute. Jack for Your Tire and Auto Care's 14 award-winning locations have been helping drivers just like you get home safely for over 60 years. With top quality tire brands, no hidden extras, and one low price. Jack Furrier has everything you need to stay in the game, like wheel alignments, batteries, brakes, air conditioning, service at prices that won't break the bank. Ask a neighbor or friend about Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's friendly service, or stop by, make an appointment online, or call ahead to the local's choice. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Football is officially back. I'm Joe Ostrowski, here to help you beat the books with BetQL. Pro football off to a dramatic start with a big toe the difference in Kansas City last night. We're ready for the rest of Week 1, and so is the BetQL model. BetQL has all their 4- and 5-star best bets locked and loaded for opening weekend. I'm Joe Ostrowski. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetQL and BetMGM apps today.
Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS. Follow all the action and stream your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, all the way through the AFC Championship. Sign up, sign in, and start streaming Paramount Plus today.
You are never too old for a family. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is dedicated to finding forever families for children who have been waiting in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Sleep Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-919-1441. 800-919-1441. 800-919-1441.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Cricket, did you know that you had a World Cup?
Mr. Sanchez is on hold.
Is that like soccer?
I don't understand any of it. I don't understand the terminology. I don't understand left-armed seamer. Can you believe it or not? He caught a slip.
You don't want to catch a slip.
I don't know what any of those
That's
things
not good at all.
But congrats to the USA for defeating Pakistan.
Yeah, I like the left-hand seamer, though. That sounds like a good thing.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Jim Rome with a Sports Minute, sponsored by Sleeper. Just download the Sleeper app today. Must be present in certain states. Visit sleeper.com for details. Sponsored by Blitz Studios. I thought Lamar Jackson certainly had his moments, but I expected a lot more from him last night. Mostly because of the crazy way his coach, John Harbaugh, was talking over the summer. I'm Jim Rome.
Football is back. And what better way to celebrate than winning some cash with Sleeper Picks? Sleeper Picks is a fantasy game, but you could win real money. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If your picks are right, you win. You could pick up to 8 players to win up to 100 times your money. And Sleeper has a couple huge offers to kickstart the football season. For new users, Sleeper will match your first deposit with up to $100 credit to your account. If you've already played, Sleeper's got discounted player projections for you every week of the season. So download the Sleeper app now and use promo code BLOCK, and your first deposit will be doubled with a credit up to $100. What are you waiting for? Download Sleeper today and use code BLOCK for a credit up to $100 match on your first deposit.
About 15 seconds, DK.
Must be 18 years in most states and in state where it is legal. Promo code and other restrictions apply. Visit sleeper.com. Please wager responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-426-2537 for help. Paid for by Blitz Studios.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Things off to a really good start to this fall season for the Pima men's soccer team up on West Anklam Road. Let's talk a little Pima soccer. Pleased to be joined by CDO grad Brandon Sanchez, a 2-year captain for the Aztecs as they head into play this weekend. Brandon, appreciate you taking a few times to join us. Just give me a little assessment so far of how you felt about the way that this season is going. You guys got a big win over number 15 and rival Mesa this past week, 1-0.
It was 2-0, but yes,
2-0.
It's been, yeah. Hey, I hope everyone's doing good. No, it's been quite a journey so far these 4 upcoming games. It's just been kind of like freshmen coming in and trying to adapt with our like play style and getting used to like not playing at club or high school anymore. But going into Mesa, we just really were like putting our heads down. We wanted to perform the best we can. And I know it wasn't our best game of the season. I'm hoping we perform better in the upcoming games, but I felt like as a team we really like trusted each other. We like looked to each other on the sides. We're like, okay, we could do this. And I felt like in the second half we picked up a little better than we did in the first half, and it was a good win coming off, especially going away. And I know them like being very motivated. It was a nationally ranked game, so I know everyone was very hyped, and I felt like they brought an energy, and it was just, I got to give props to Mesa. They played a very good game.
And you've got some pretty dynamic scorers this season in Robert Castaneda. You mentioned a freshman coming in, and he's one of those freshmen that's come in and been able to really provide some offense for this team. Ismael Ruiz, a fellow sophomore, coming back. What's been fun about those two guys kind of really propelling this offense so far in the early going of the season?
I think for everyone, especially the sophomores, we were like Robert really caught us by surprise, to be honest. We didn't think a freshman like him was going to come in and make a difference, but it happened to see that he's already put up 5 goals and he's really driving our offense. And I feel like for him especially, it's such a big role for him coming in as a freshman, being on the starting lineup. I think he's taken the challenge well. And then Ish, on the other hand, I mean, playing with Ish for the past 2 years, he's just something special. Every time he touches the ball, you don't know what he's going to do with it. And I think every time he does get on the ball, it's always going to be something different. And I feel like for people guarding him, it's just like a little different environment.
Brandon Sanchez is joining us, sophomore midfielder for the Pima men's soccer team out of Canyon del Oro High School. Goes by the nickname of Bam Bam. How'd you get your nickname, Brandon?
So actually, when I was younger, I have a twin brother actually, and when we were younger growing up, when he was trying to pronounce Brandon, he actually didn't know how to say it, so he would call me Bam Bam, and it kind of stuck on the whole way till I was growing up for as long as I could remember.
Now, you had 7 goals last season for this team. What are kind of, in terms of offensively for you, what are kind of the goals that you've set for yourself for this season?
For this season, honestly, I'm trying to get everyone involved. I mean, 7 goals, yeah, it was good last year, but personally, I'm just trying to look forward for the team and see what I can do to provide, set up Robert, maybe Ish or Jacob, our starting striker, to put them in the front line of scoring, get their confidence up. Because I know last year we didn't finish as well as we wanted to. So right now, for me personally, I just want to make sure like everyone's getting comfortable with their playing, everyone's scoring goals. And as a captain, I just feel like I'm always wanting to put the team first.
Now, Brandon, you spent the summer playing with the USL2 squad over with FC Tucson. What was that experience like, being on that squad and finally being a part of an FC Tucson side that kind of got that Western Conference championship losing streak off your back and getting to the Final Four?
Oh, it was awesome. I know being like an academy player there for so many years and on academy contract, but this year it was just something special. Like you see a bunch of different environments, different characters, different people coming from different countries, different like socials, and it was just something special. Like you have guys playing at Wisconsin, Missouri State, You have a bunch of kids playing in Colorado, D2 schools, and it's just cool to see like all different environments come in and play and come specifically to Tucson and just play as a group and a team and get to know each other. And I felt like this summer it's really like created bonds I'll probably have for the rest of my life. So it was an awesome experience.
Is it weird being a teammate with Nils Roth during the summer, and now he's one of your guys' coaches during the fall?
Yeah. Yeah, you see a different side of him when you're sitting next to him on the field or on the bench. Because when you see him on the coaching side, he gets a little more on you and stuff. But then when he sees you as a teammate, or you see him as a teammate, it's just more, you get more comfortable with him. Like, wow, you don't see this side of Nils. You don't see like how he does at practices, how he takes this. And it's just a different environment. It's been amazing though, getting to know him on the field, off the field, as a coach, as a player, teammate. It's been awesome.
We're chatting with Brandon Sanchez from Pima Men's Soccer. The fellas will be back on the road along with the ladies up at Gateway on Saturday. So back-to-back road trips up to the Phoenix area. So what are those road trips like for you guys? Brandon, kind of what do you do on the bus ride? Is it kind of just relaxing? Are you trying to get into your mental state for those 2-hour rides up to the valley?
So going up there when we travel to Phoenix usually, so our coach, Cosgrove, usually brings a snack. So some people will like be taking naps because I know they're tired of school or anything. Some guys listen to music. This past road trip we went to Mesa. There was actually a couple where we were just telling stories, getting to know each other better. Some with the freshmen and the sophomores returning. We're just kind of catching up each other's lives. So going up there, it's like more like trying to have fun. But then once we step off the bus, it's like we know we have to go. And then if we get the result we want, if we come back with a win, then the bus ride home, it's a different environment from what we see. Every time so we picked up a new tradition this year actually. Like every time after every game, we have an MVP ball. So whoever like plays the best or whoever does the best, they get this MVP ball. They sign it. They put the score of the team we played, and then we end up singing a song for them. Like they walk down the bus, the line of the bus, and then we usually dance for them. And then we have a team song, which is Sweet Carolina, where everyone just sits up. We play in our speaker, and then everyone just starts getting up, singing. The coaches, the trainers. So it's an environment where everyone just gets happy. We all get excited. We all yelling, screaming, singing. It's just a different environment when we get on the bus once we win.
And once again, you guys got a largely local team, but you also have some international flavor to it as well. What's kind of fun about having some of these guys from, whether it's Ireland or Norway or Spain or South Korea, some of these countries around the world kind of in the mix there?
Oh, it's awesome. Good. Well, obviously we don't speak their language, so it's good to like adapt, and you get used to other people's languages. You see how they do things in their country. And for us, I know we kind of try to welcome them like they're coming in our home. So it's like we try to pick off like different things, like how they speak. Like when we're on the field with them, we kind of try to like the South Koreans, like we try to like slow everything down for them so they understand. And I know Ko being a 2-year, he's picked up a lot of English and he kind of understands what we're doing. And then like you pick up different formations, different way they play soccer in like Spain, Norway, Ireland, and you kind of talk to them like, oh, how do you guys do this? What's differently here? So it's an awesome experience. Like they share their life with us, and we share what we do here in Tucson. So it's amazing.
All right, I'm going to ask you this question, Brandon, because we were talking about this on the show earlier this week. Who do you think is going to win the Ballon d'Or trophy this year?
For me, I'm not a Real Madrid fan, but I think Vinicius Jr. earns it, especially after this past year. I think he's done well. I think if he would have done better in Copa America, it definitely would have been his. But then Rodri also had an outstanding Euros, and then they won the Champions League for Man City. So honestly, it could go either way, but I'm kind of hoping it's Vinicius Jr.
Vinicius Jr. What do you love about his game?
He's just crafty. I mean, ever since he's coming in La Liga and Real Madrid, he just brings a different vibe to the thing. I know he has a lot of hatred, but he just kind of like goes in. He's always playing fun. He's always doing something with a little flair. And I think like having personality on and off the ball, it's just something you like watching as a kid. And I think he's such an inspiration to these young guys growing up.
Is there any player that you kind of model your game after?
Looking when I was younger, not really. Obviously, like you're either a Ronaldo or a Messi fan growing up. But this past couple of years growing up and like maturing, I think Toni Kroos was a big one of how he plays the game and how he does everything. And I know I just watched something, and it's just like watching his game and how he brings to the team and what he does for the team. It's just something that I like kind of see myself in. And I think he's been like a great role model, and just kind of like watching him and seeing what he does it's a good player to watch.
All right, 4-0 so far on the season. At Gateway tomorrow, and then back home for a pair of matches next week. FC Tucson men's soccer. Brandon, hey, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. Best of luck as this season goes along.
Thank you for having me. I hope you guys have a good one.
Absolutely. Brandon Bam Bam Sanchez from Canyon del Oro High School, one of the sophomore leaders for the Pima men's soccer team. All right, guys, what do you think about what he said there? Vinicius Jr. for the Ballon d'Or.
I think that it's a good opportunity. I think he's a good chance of winning it. Again, Haaland seems like a guy that really has had a big season. He's got highlights all over social media. But I don't know. It's the first year that I could really say that I don't really know a lot of the guys on the list other than Mbappe.
Right.
That's like really the only guy that I know of, like, just for
You guys,
general terms.
like I said the other day, you should know who Erling Strong is. I can't even say his name. But this guy, as a rookie 3 years ago, as a 22-year-old, broke the record for the most goals ever in the Premier League. Got the Golden Boot again last year in his second year. I mean, he's 24 years old, and he's doing things scoring-wise the Premier League, which is the best league in the world, has not seen before. So that's definitely – it's so early. This is the 30 guys who are the favorites, but we have the whole season to be played. They just started.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of games to be played. But if you've not seen highlights, that guy's like 6'4", 240, just 230, commands the box. Like he nobody gets near him when there's corners, and his footwork is just impeccable. He gets all the angles. His goal scoring highlight package is just outrageous.
All right, we will wait to find out if Brandon knows a little bit about what he's talking about there on the national, or I should say the international soccer scene. All right, it's DK on the Sports Tip. We're coming to you live from Illegal Pete's down on Main Gate Square. Short show today. We've got only 30 minutes to go. I've got some tickets to give away in the next hour. Cricket will have some more about what's going on, and we'll update you on what's happening with your Diamondbacks and your Cardinals, as well as the Cardinals head to Buffalo for the first game of the season. JW Madden is back in studio. David Amata, Dragon Ball, is giving you all you need to know about what's happening around the world here in Southern Arizona sports and the nation.
Wildcats Radio 1290. 2020 Sports.
Looking around the Arizona campus, besides NAU and U of A going head-to-head tomorrow, again, that kickoff will be about 7 p.m. You can listen to that here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Elsewhere, Wildcats men's golf starts up the Sahali Players Championship tomorrow, and volleyball finished up their 3-game set at the Alabama State Tournament against the Crimson Tide after going 3-0 the day against Prairie View A&M, so they could finish that tournament completely undefeated, having given up no sets throughout the weekend. Congratulations to them. If you have any concerns about possible Big 12 tiebreakers, guess what? The conference has you covered. They recently released a complete set of possible tiebreakers for any football or basketball or any sport for the conference championship, and that includes head-to-head battles, winning percentage against common conference opponents, and in a last-ditch effort, also even throwing in a coin toss. You can see all of those. They have, I believe, 7 different tiebreaker scenarios listed on the Big 12 Conference website. And the NFL season opened up showing why best reality TV is sports. The Ravens were about an inch away from likely spoiling the Kansas City Super Bowl banner party out at Arrowhead.
5 seconds left, 3rd and goal. Jackson is in the gun. He moves up in the pocket. Right tackle block. He runs around in a circle. Cocks his arm, throws in the end zone. It's caught in the back of the end zone with the feet down. Likely got it. Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown, Baltimore! He caught it. Were his feet in? Oh, one was, and the toe of the other looks like it's on the chalk.
The runner's toe hit out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass. The game is over. Kansas City has won.
The Chiefs have won it 27-20.
And the Ravens after the game were very critical of the officiating in the contest, particularly the new formation penalties that they suffered numerous times in the first quarter. That's your 2020 Sports Update here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Bilby and Houghton and Bilby. Dodge Boulevard south of Glen. Also an earlier crash at Grant and I-10. Some slowing on Grant at I-10. Backups at Ajo and Mission, also slowing southbound La Cholla at Ajo. An excessive heat warning until 8 tonight. Highs near 100 this weekend and 103 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
What's with the earmuffs, Gary?
Holy cannoli. I just got back from a house with the loudest AC I've ever heard.
In other words, it wasn't installed right.
It must have been installed upside down for all that noise.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
If your air conditioner sounds like...
It could sound like...
We stop vibrations so your AC runs smooth and cool.
People all over Arizona are singing about the Grizzly.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
Shh, hear that?
I don't hear anything.
That means...
The Grizzly is doing its job, keeping you cool
with barely a purr.
We believe ACs should sound like this.
Because we do things the Alaskan way, not the cheap way.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.com.
If you tailgate at the mall before Arizona football games, 1290 is your radio station.
Because we love the Wildcats as much as you do.
This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Broadway in Tucson presents the new 2024-2025 season.
Tucson. It's D-Day on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon.
And Cricket getting you home in weather.
Camp
on Mount Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Coming to you live from Illegal Pete's here on Main Gate Square. Bear Down Fridays. Getting you set for Arizona football tomorrow, the second game of the season, second home game of the season. And it is the Arizona Wildcats taking on the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. Back-to-back seasons that the Lumberjacks are coming in here to Tucson. Of course, they won 3 years ago here. Wildcats got right with it. There you go. There's the resident there. There's the resident fan, resident graduate of NAU. They're all over the place for sure.
There's more than a few of us out there.
More than a few, for sure. Last year, though, the Wildcats won 38-3. If I remember correctly, though, they did not cover the spread. I think the spread was higher in that game last year than 35 points. I don't recall off the top of my head. I'll have to go look that up. But we'll see if they can cover this year in the ball game. This year, the Wildcats come into the game against Northern Arizona. Once again, a prohibited favorite in the contest, right now sitting at 35.5 points in the game tomorrow. So we'll give you our best bets on all that coming up in the game on the pregame show tomorrow, which gets underway at 2:30 out on the mall. Just some of our, I'll give you a few of our BetQL football plays for this weekend. The folks over at BetQL, maybe they'll be a little bit better this weekend than they were last weekend. They were 3-5, I think, in the 8 football plays they gave us. So I'll give you 3 college plays and 2 NFL plays. We'll go with the first one, guys, tonight. Eagles on the money line over the Packers tonight in Brazil. That sounds like a good one, no?
2.5 on the money for the spread there. I mean, that's actually not a bad call. I think that's actually not a bad bet to make on this one, if you're going to make any bets on this particular game.
There you go. So Eagles on the money line is one of our NFL bets, and we mentioned the other one earlier in the week. Browns minus 2.5 over the Cowboys is a BetQL 5-star play this weekend. So that's those are our 2 NFL games. Here are the 3 college games. I think we gave you a couple of these earlier in the week, and we'll give you one more. Alabama by 30.5 over South Florida. I think Alabama put up dang near close to 70 points last week in their opening game over Western Kentucky, which was surprising.
Yes, 63-0.
Which was surprising because Western Kentucky is usually pretty good. I would not have thought that Western Kentucky would get rolled like that against Alabama. So Alabama
in Conference USA play, yeah, they're pretty tough. But when you're going Alabama versus Western Kentucky, I'm going to take Alabama in that case.
There you go. So 30.5, Alabama minus 30.5 over South Florida. Notre Dame giving away 4 touchdowns to Northern Illinois, the Huskies. I think we gave you that one earlier in the week. So that's one 5-star play. And then Central Michigan minus 6 over Florida International. So those are your 5-star plays on the football side. Maybe you can parlay that into some big money this weekend. Bet responsibly, though, for sure.
I'm seeing 28.5 for last year's spread.
Okay, so
and
they did cover.
Won by 35.
So they did cover.
Cover.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So they covered last year. Good job.
Although the over-under was 59.5.
No.
They didn't come close to that.
No. David Amata in his update mentioned Arizona volleyball won today, so they are now 4-0. Actually, 4-0 on the season. And David mentioned they could sweep that entire event tomorrow, but tomorrow they're playing. Speaking of Alabama, the Wildcats get Alabama, the real Alabama, the Crimson Tide tomorrow at the Alabama State Collegiate tournament down there. That'll be that'll be a 9 a.m. game, our time, between the Crimson Tide and the Wildcats. One of the big interesting points going on right now with Arizona volleyball is the battle for the setter position. So I want you to hear a little bit from Cherita Stubbs on that. She opens. We had a chance to catch up with her prior to the team leaving for Alabama last weekend after they knocked off Tennessee State. And I think I said the Wildcats are 4-0. They're actually 5-0 now on the season with their 2 wins at the ASU Classic down in Alabama. But they had a chance. Jordan in Washington is one of the. I'm sorry, not Jordan Washington, but Jordan Wilson is one of the better players offensively on the team this year for the Arizona Wildcats. But she did not have a good game last Saturday against Virginia Commonwealth, and Cherita Stubbs pulled her out of the game after just 1 set. And then Jordan went back in on Sunday, had a great game, had a double-double. She had 15 kills and 15 digs. Afterward, Cherita talked about the decision to pull Jordan out of the game early last Saturday against VCU, and then her performance coming back on Sunday against Tennessee State.
You know, it was when she started off, she was going too hard again, trying to prove points and going up and hit ball straight down. I'm like, Jordan, you got to work yourself back into it and kind of just calm down. Sometimes less is more, and that resonated with her. But, you know, she likes to be the wow factor, which is cool, but sometimes it's not necessary.
What were just your kind of overall feelings on this weekend, getting 3 wins and 9-2 in sets?
I'm excited. You know, for us, our scheduling was designed to kind of put us in a position where we can compete, warm up, get involved in everything, and get the girls in a position where I can play different people and see what we have. You know, it's kind of up in the air with our setting, who's going to be the setter for various reasons, and libero position, kind of filling it out. But I'm excited because anytime you win, it's a great day.
What's the evaluation process with the setter? What are you looking to try to figure out there?
It's a combination of things. You know, Anna set all last year, so she knows exactly what we're looking for and what should be taking place. Avery is just a gamer, and she gets it and just knows how to keep a ball in rhythm. So, you know, they're battling every day. It's not I'm a clear starter. And so I don't know. My goal is for that not to be stressful, but the reality is the competition is what's needed in order for us to get better.
Do you have a timeline on when you want to know who that person is?
No, not really. No, I mean, I would say by Big 12 play, I want to be confident in knowing who that person's going to be.
And your middles, all 4 of them got in today. And what did you have to say about their performance and what you saw from them?
You know, they're all different, and they all offer something a little bit different, something different to the table. So AJ, you know, when she goes in, we're expecting her to be able to hit a slide and get that going, and whereas Journey isn't as good as going behind, and so getting the gap. So we're trying to run the ball in a certain area, and often the middles don't go to that certain area, and then the setters are left in the predicament of how to set the ball and how to put them in a position to score. The reality is we need to set the middles more. That is our number 1 goal.
Back to Jordan, what did you just like about the way she defended out there today as well?
She calmed down. You know, Jordan can play the whole 6 rotations if her brain just stays dialed in. And for her, what we're constantly telling her is call out what you see, talk to play, slow the game down for you, because she gets hyper.
And I guess on the broadcast they were talking about Jay, you know, her foot flaring up a little bit today. I'm assuming that's why she came.
No, it wasn't. Her foot wasn't the problem.
Okay.
No. It's one of those things, you know, we kind of keep her on the jump count, and if the opportunity presents itself to sit her down, I think it's good. It gives other people opportunity to play. Yeah.
All right, that is the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats. That's the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Cherita Stubbs, talking a little bit after the weekend last weekend. So we've got a good old-fashioned setter controversy going on here with Arizona volleyball. The true freshman, Avery Scoggins, who comes in out of New Bern, North Carolina, and the junior, Anna Heath, who's from Murphy, Texas. And right now, it looks like the edge at the moment is going to the freshman, Avery Scoggins. And as you heard Cherita Stubbs say there, she's just simply a gamer. She's played 13 sets so far this season to Anna Heath's 9, and she's got double the amount of assists that Anna Heath has so far this season. Avery Scoggins has 140 assists in 13 sets to Avery Scoggins 68 in 9 So to do the math on assists per set, Avery Scoggins is averaging 11 to Anna Heath's 8. So the freshman has come in, not to mention Avery Scoggins has 28 digs on the season, so she's proved to be a formidable defensive player, as well as 2 blocks by Avery Scoggins. So she's doing a little bit of everything from that setter position. It appears at the moment, just based on the numbers, she might be in the lead there for that position over Anna Heath moving forward. As Tarita said, she'd like to have a decision by the time they get to Pac-12 play. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Again, we are coming to you live from Illegal Pete's. It is Bear Down Fridays. Of course, there won't be any parade today. There will not be a parade until October the 4th. So we got a whole other month before we actually get in a parade for Bear Down Fridays. But, hey, we got some of the great people from Corona that are here passing out, I think, $5 Coronas, if I'm not mistaken. And, free beer? Wait, what do you mean free beer? Free beer? You get man. Free.
That's
free
not
beer. That's something went vastly wrong with cheap beer once a long time ago at a place I used to live. So we want to be giving out free beer. But maybe if you get a ticket, you get something. You can maybe get yourself a beer. All right,
that's 10 cents. That's 10 cents cheaper than what it was that one fateful night, isn't it?
See, David knows exactly what I'm talking about. 10-cent beer night in Cleveland. That didn't go very well for the Texas Rangers. All right, Cricket. What do you think about free beer? Free Corona. In fact.
Corona's a very tasty beer, and it could get dangerous, though. Maybe just, give away one free beer. Not too many.
That takes me back to, now I did go to, of course, I went to the University of Southern California, but I came to Tucson once or twice while I was in college. That reminds me of 25-cent beer night over at the Green Dolphin back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. The Green Dolphin hasn't been there since, late 80s, early 90s, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Did either of you frequent the Green Dolphin back in the day?
I lived there. I lived on 9th and Tyndall. The Rock is right there. The Green Dolphin was right there. So I lived a block and a half away.
Now, is that what the Rock? Is that the old Green Dolphin?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, because I remembered it was kind of in that area there back in the day. I've not seen a show at the Rock. I probably need to go see something there. Have either of you seen a show at the Rock?
Oh yeah.
My roommate was a singer of a metal band who performed at the Rock on a regular basis. So yes,
So J-Dub, you know all about that venue.
Yeah, it was either a heavy metal or swing dancing because we were popular at the time. If you guys remember when swing came
weird.
back,
You
same
could see
era.
Slayer and then the Big Bad Voodoo Daddies the next weekend.
Oh man, that's a dramatic difference. That is a dramatic difference for sure. All right, what else is happening? This is, in fact, is Slayer. Can we see any Slayer this weekend or anything like Slayer here in Tucson this weekend, Cricket?
Sorry, no. Bad news. Sorry, man.
No big bad goo-goo daddies or anything like that either? No.
No, sorry.
All right.
We do have tomorrow Dog Days of Summer at Pima Animal Care Center tomorrow from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. Free adoptions. There's going to be food trucks and games and prizes and raffles for adopters. Free adoptions, like I said, but a license fee may apply. Tomorrow at PAC, 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. at Silver Bell and Sweetwater. The Sabino Canyon Night Tours, 6:30 tomorrow night. Meet at the Sabino Canyon Rec Center. I want to tell you all that Grandparents' Day is on Sunday. So y'all know, little heads up for grandparents.
Grandparents' Day.
Yeah, so Grandparents' Day again Sunday. There's going to be a Grandparents' Day party at Trail Dust Town from 9 a.m. until noon on Sunday. And also, like we mentioned before, Sonoran Restaurant Week. You can explore Tucson's amazing restaurant scene through the 15th of September. SonoranRestaurantWeek.com for all the restaurants participating.
All right, well, if you still have your grandparents with them, make sure you give them a hug, a kiss, and tell them you love them.
Yes.
For sure, because there's nothing like grandma and granddad. Okay. Cricket, you have a great weekend. Don't spend too much time in the weeds. Do something fun. Have some fun.
Okay.
This weekend, all right?
Thank you. You too.
Maybe go out to Houghton and do some drag racing with the kids out there.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure you with your 357 Hemi or whatever it's called could compete very well with those kids out there.
Maybe
you should take your car out to the drag. They have those nights at the drag strip where you can kind of just race your own car.
Yeah, it's called track day.
Yeah, have you ever done? You should take your car out there and do that one time.
You know, honestly, they'd probably laugh at me because I don't have any modifications.
Okay.
Even a big car like that, you still, when you go to race, those people still have mods on their car.
All
So
right.
they'd be like, "Oh, yours is stock, whatever."
Stop.
No, just like that's what I do, Cricket. I go to a pool hall and I grab the jankiest,
worst
bent pool cue possible,
Okay.
and everybody else has their $900 fancy pool cue cases, and I beat them
And you
anyway.
win
And that's
anyway.
you go there, and you're like, your mods are great and all, but watch me go.
Watch this.
There
Yep.
you go. All
Fair
right.
enough.
Cricket,
Okay.
Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported at Valencia and Benson Highway, Craycroft and 5th Street, also Bilby and Houghton. Some backups at Ahaway and Mission. There is an excessive heat warning until 8 tonight. Our highs near 100 this weekend and 103 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell is introducing the new Cantina Chicken Menu with new Cantina Chicken Burrito, Quesadilla, Bowl, and Tacos, featuring their new slow-roasted chicken. Try the new Cantina Chicken Menu today at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Good news, everybody. We stay on the air with you for an extra 2 hours after every Arizona football and men's basketball game all season long. That's why we are the home of the Wildcats. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Go Wildcats! As a new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, the Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
Did you know Economy Plumbing Service specializes in 2-day in-home repiping? So get rid of that old galvanized or polybutylene pipe and give us a call at 885-3510. Also, while we're at it, is your water heater acting up? Are your toilets backing up? Is the drip, drip, drip keeping you up? Then what are you waiting for? Give Economy Plumbing Service a call today, 885-3510, or visit us at economyplumbingservice.com. Because if water goes through it or to it, we do it.
Cactus RV and Marine. Visit their original location on Romero north of Prince during I-10 construction or cactusrv.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rocking K with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable. All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah, it's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Whether you're new to Arizona or you've been driving here for decades, we all share the same roads and the same extreme driving conditions like extreme Arizona heat, extremely large potholes, some extremely flooded roads, and there's always extremely distracted drivers, pedestrians, and that guy who drives a scooter backwards into oncoming traffic. You're driving in the
most complete coverage of your Bird Gang is right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, final few minutes of the show. We're out of here at 4:30, getting you set for the Eagles and the Packers. It'll be the Cardinals, the Bird Gang on the road, the Buffalo to open up the season on Sunday. Kyler Murray, a full season under Jonathan Gannon, spoke this week about just being ready to play some football. It's all that's been on his mind.
I mean, it's first game of the year, but to me, I mean, football's been on my mind this whole offseason. Obviously, you know, it always is, but, you know, last year being hurt, having to rehab and stuff like that, I think, you know, for me, trying not to get too.
Second commentary is about being only the third Cardinals quarterback to start 6 years.
Like that, you're away from the guys, but I've had this on my mind for a long time, you know, not just this game, but what I want to accomplish, what I want this team to accomplish this season. So it doesn't feel brand new in a sense, you know, in that sense.
And we mentioned that Kyler Murray is in a very select place in Cardinals history. He's got a chance to be the first Cardinals quarterback to start for 6 consecutive seasons.
You know, I would love to end my career here with multiple Super Bowls and, you know, MVPs and all the accolades and stuff like that. I think ability-wise, for sure, you know, I've never questioned my ability or anything like that. Obviously, you never know when this game will be taken away from you or anything like that. But I'm just, you know, grateful and just taking it one day at a time, focused on this week, and we had a good day today. So,
all right, Cardinals and the Bills, 10 a.m. on Sunday. Let's say a little bit about your Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks download.
Baseball stuff! All right, real quick with yesterday's game, a 3-2 loss, but what a performance by Merrill Kelly. It was just what the doctor ordered as he tries to come back from his early season injuries.
And Merrill Kelly gets him to chase that curveball. Oh, tied him up. Yes, he went, says Quinn Walcott. Came in there with a sinker and got it to come back. Got him right at the belt. Merrill Kelly getting up mid-90s, and he gets his third strikeout. Yastrzemski caught looking.
There it is.
Here's another one.
Well, that's his best pitch in a crucial situation.
Boy, Merrill Kelly with that changeup. That has been pitch number 1. He's got 7 strikeouts. Got him. Rung him up with a sinker. Merrill Kelly, 8 strikeouts through 7 innings in a 2-2 ball game.
2 runs, 6 hits in 7 innings with the 8 strikeouts. Did not walk a batter on 94 pitches. That was great to see for Merrill Kelly. The Diamondbacks are going to need him and would love to have him full strength at the top of that rotation as they make this run to the postseason. Currently sitting 5.5 games behind the Dodgers as they open up a series at always tough Houston. That'll be tonight. The Diamondbacks, in terms of the wild card right now, second behind the Padres, who lead the wild card by a half game over the Diamondbacks. And again, it'll be a weekend series in Houston. Game 1 of that series gets underway at the top of the hour, 5:10. Brandon Pfaadt on the mound, 9-7, a 4.32 earned run average. Ooh, guess who he gets to face? Only Framber Valdez. Is there anybody else right now in baseball other than Framber Valdez who you believe can pitch a no-hitter every time he takes the mound? I don't know that there's another guy, fellas, real quick,
I mean,
other than Framber Valdez.
Innings, right? Got pulled like a couple of times, didn't he?
If Skis could go ahead and get to the ninth inning,
right,
that would go ahead and give him a chance. But besides him, I don't know if there's anybody else.
Yeah, every time Framber gets the ball, you got to believe he's going to throw a no-hitter. All right, real quick, in high school football tonight, big game down in Sierra Vista, Ironwood Ridge and Buena, probably the top game of the night. I'm going to head over to Tucson High to see the Marana Tigers take on the Badgers tonight. That's a big game as well. And over on the east side, you got Flowing Wells and Sunnyside. That's going to wrap up our coverage. Thanks to Mitch Stroman for joining us on the show, Brandon Sanchez for joining us as well, for JW Madden, for Cricket, for Dragon Ball. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Coming up, the National Football League from Brazil, the Green Bay Packers, and the Philadelphia Eagles is next. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
special presentation of Westwood One Sports.
All right, we're clear.
All right, cool.
If
Thanks.
it's the
We'll
NFL,
talk to you guys tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Wood One.
The NFL announced